at you, chat. Look at chat go. Oh jeez. Sorry, I fucked with my mic. It should be okay, but if it's too loud, let me know. Feeder clorf porn, please don't add that to the list. Oh jeez, holy shit. This is why we need top chat. I need YouTube's help deciding which of these messages I should be reading. It's simply too much. Simply too much to look at. Ooh, can I make it ultra low latency still, even though it's live? Oh, my changes were not saved. I guess I just have to deal with low latency and not ultra low latency for this stream. Oh well, I'm fucking up before I even begin. What a disaster. Let's see. Latency. Okay. This stream was hard to prepare for. I want you guys to know how much suffering went into trying to make this stream, because I have my notes, right? I always have my notes. Usually my notes are like half a page sometimes with my points, and then I got clips and shit. Shmorky could have easily been 2 pages. I really had to try and condense this, because it's so much shit and not all of it is entirely relevant. And the big problem with it is that so much of it doesn't make any sense unless you know something awful, you know? Just a single piece of paper. Well, that's my notes. Like, I know a lot in my brain, right? Don't answer that. Don't answer that. Just take my word for it. I know a lot in my brain. I suffer for my entertainment. Too early. Oh, jeez. This is my pre-stream. This is where I let people pile in and get comfy. Get their soda pop. Get their Monster energy drinks ready. Talk about the smells. I have that post. Rest assured I have that post. It's so frustrating when I forget to put it on fucking ultra low latency, because there's like a good 10-second delay on low latency. That's not low latency, that's bullshit. That's fucking I need this shit snappy. I need people to hear my voice and then spam chat immediately. Alright. Anything happened recently that I can kill 4 minutes of time talking about? Anything I should address? What does your pre-stream smell like? It smells like cat piss, obviously. Is this like a something awful, Mimi? Talking about cat piss? That's like the smell associated with like sterile women or lonely women. Change latency to lower. I can't. The stream's already started. You can't change it after the stream starts, and I can't reboot the stream on stream now mode without disconnecting it. Low taxes pay pigs bailing him out. Yes, they are. I can't say too much about that. I wish I had fucking a $10,000 Patreon. Almost $11,000 now. Fuck that shit. I am green with envy, needless to say. Will Mumkey Jones lure Nick into his gingerbread house? I have not a fucking clue what you're talking about. Do I support Yang Gang? Obviously. You know how much I would fucking kill for to get $1,000 a month? I don't even live in America. I don't have to worry. I don't have to worry at all about what happens in the US. I'll vote for the free money. In fact, I have already put 100 good boy points, 100 Great British pounds sterling, on Yang becoming the next president of the United States. I'm making the call, because the odds are fucking great. If I win, I'm like, you'll never see me again. I'll take my 100,000 good boy points and scurry off to the fucking Pitcairn Islands or some shit. Not a chance. I'm retarded. I'm gonna lose that money. Oh. Can we get some pre-stream politics going up in here? Let me show you guys what you guys sound like right now. I'm gonna show you what you sound like. Hold up. Where's my Firefox? what's her name? Ann Coulter, Bill Maher, Trump. Show me it. I think this is it. This is what you guys sound like.
It has the best chance of winning
that.
Okay, here we are. And which Republican candidate has the best chance of winning the general election?
Of the declared ones right now,
Yang.
Donald Trump.
That's you.
Well, what about of all of them? I mean, Scott Walker.
Laughter.
That's how dumb you sound. He's not a woman. I would hope not. Stream taken down by HBO. Oh, jeez. Don't say that. I'm not going to be recording this part. So I'm not worried. I'm not worried. You can't catch me alive. Can't catch me alive, HBO. All right. That's enough fucking around. That's enough yang ganging. It's time for business. Time to make our money on top of our universal basic income money. Where's my clip? Where is it? I have it somewhere. See, Josh, you prepare for several hours, and then when it comes time... Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, recording now.
I'm a guy who likes to work on my car. I like to take it apart and put it back together. I get to working on it and forget where I am, what time it is. I even forget to eat. You don't forget to smoke, though. I always smoke when I work. I like Marlboro flip-top box. I like flip-top box. I like flip-top box. Flip-top box. Flip-top box. I like Marlboro flip-top box. I like flip-top box. I like flip-top box. Flip-top box. Flip-top box. I like Marlboro flip-top box. I like flip-top box. I like flip-top box. Flip-top box.
You enjoying this song? You won't for too long. This was my first exposure to something awful and the culture of something awful. This is Flip-Top Box. The animation style in this video is going to become familiar to you if you've never heard of Shmorky, because, surprise, it's animated by Shmorky, who is, of course, the topic of today's video. Alright, so let me start by explaining. Let me cut my gain up a little bit. That if you don't know something awful, you're going to be a little bit lost in this video. And as somebody who does not know something awful myself, I was a little bit lost trying to follow the threads of complete and total inane bullshit that are all around this story. So let me start off by introducing you to Shmorky as a child. This is him. This is little Shmorks admiring his drawings. The protege, the prodigal Shmorky, looking at his paintings. Now, as a kid, he was apparently abused. So we're going to start right off into the funny territory by talking about child abuse, which is going to become a recurrent theme as we move along. He created a lot of old memes that people still know to this day. It's not just Flip-Top Box. You probably recognize this ancient meme.
How is baby formed? How is baby formed? How girl get pregnant? They need to do weigh in stain mother.
I think you
kill
do.
their babies because these baby can't fricks back. It was on the news this morning. A mother in who had killed her 3 kids. They are taking the
This
3 baby
was
back to New
also
York
one of
to
Shmorky's.
lady to rest.
That animation for that should look very similar to Flip-Top Box, and because it's made by the same guy. Shmorky was integral to something awful in the prime years of the forum and the community. He authored something called FlashTub, which, if you've ever visited the Something Awful website, you've probably seen this. So this is the main page of Something Awful. This is to this day. This is not an archive. This is not a old copy of the site from 2005. This is right now. You go up to this and you see this, the Flash Tub. You click the Flash Tub. It opens the Flash Tub. Most 50 most recent articles. You'll notice that browse by year starts right at 2014. The last Flash Tub was October, late October. It was Halloween themed, and I think even this was post Shmorky. But he was the animator for, I think, all of these. I'm pretty sure he did all of them because they all look the same. They all have his style, and you'll notice these fucking eyes and shit. That's like a hallmark in how he draws. So get used to seeing the style. It's not going away. The more you talk about it, the more clear it is. Now, there's a story to why it ends abruptly in 2014. It looks like early MySpace. Yes, I mean this is still up. It's not even archaeology. It's just that Something Awful is like frozen in time. It seems like after 2014, the site just stopped. Like everybody who gave a shit is just gone from the site. Shmorky not only did this though. You might recognize some of this shit. These are Adult Swim items that is in a list that he put together. This is something that he made that they paid him for. Fucking, I want to play it. There we go.
This is fine. I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently. That's okay. Things are gonna be okay.
That's Shmorky. He did a lot more. Now, these are only like 15 seconds each. We'll get a second one. He didn't just do Adult Swim idents either. He did work for Hub Network, and you know when he got into the scene, when he started befriending Lowtax, everything was going fine. You know, Lowtax wasn't making too much money off Something Awful. Like when they first started and stuff. Like he had several years where he made $500,000 off the site, but you know, as far as paying artists and stuff for their stuff, it wasn't even commonplace. If you were lucky as a cartoonist, you could make your own webcomic and get ad money and stuff like Penny Arcade did. But very few people ever reached that level of individual success. And for a while, Shmorky was directly associated to Something Awful and only Something Awful. So now we get to talk about Lowtax more specifically. I'm debating what I want to... You know what? Fuck it. Let's just go right into this. The whole reason why I'm even talking about Shmorky is because this got posted. Somebody said on Richard Kayenka, I think is his name, posted this on Facebook, saying that his checking account for his personal checking was negative $90. And he posted this. Let's just read it. One thing, I'm gonna have to read a lot of what Lowtax has posted, and it's a fucking drain on my sanity, because Lowtax is somebody who is chronically unable to take anything seriously ever, and if he ever becomes uncomfortable talking about something, his immediate reaction is to try and be silly about it. So even when he's talking about being bankrupt and having to close the site, he insists on being like a clown when he does it, and it fucking drives me up the wall. And you'll see what I mean as I talk about this. So I'm just going to try to bash through this as quickly as I can. I've been seriously depressed for a couple of years because my injuries and situation has severely limited the things I can do, and it's made me feel absolutely useless and incapable of doing the things I want and need to do. I wasn't able to sit down with a laptop like I would have, which I would have had to buy since I do not own one, apparently, and post on the forums about this shit, and even if I could, my depression would not let me. I felt guilty as shit for doing a poor me thread here and talking about my situation. I was raised Catholic and no, I was not molested, so I have this weird guilt things that affect me still. I felt guilty about coming here and talking about this stuff because we've had a fundraiser before, I think either last year or the one before, and whenever I made forum decisions, I do it in the mindset of, if I was an average forum user, how would I personally react to this decision? My answer was, Jesus, this asshole won't stop begging for money just because he's dumb as shit with finances. I do not know if the average user here feels the same way, but in my mind, it felt guilty as hell and not beneficial to the forums. I've tapped out my 401k, which was $40,000 to cover expenses last year. As a fun fact, my ex-wife got $140,000 of that 401k in the divorce, and she lied about certain things regarding taxes, and her lawyer was able to convince the judge that our agreement was not legally binding. That's my fault for not 100% distrusting her and having her sign an agreement that wasn't signed by a notary clerk or whatever, because at the time she was just giving me, I want this divorce to be free of drama, fair for both of us, and not affect the kids. So I blew it because I'm a gullible person. My therapist even said that in his exact words, and repeatedly trust people who have proven to be absolutely untrustworthy, such as a certain individual on the administrative side of things here, but I will not get into that, so please don't ask. And then the rest of it is not relevant. I just like those first two paragraphs because they were pretty self-pitying, but don't feel too bad about them, because if you're concerned about poor low tax in the future or something awful, which I imagine absolutely no one is, I'm pleased to inform you that actually, let's refresh it. Did it break? It did. It's up to $11,500 now from 1,400 pay pigs. So if you're feeling bad for low tax, don't. He's going to be just fine. He's going to make that 401k back up by halfway through the year. So 11,484. Getting significant digits right there. Yeah, it just occurred to him, maybe I should open a Patreon for my site, since I make absolutely no fucking money off ads and everything else, apparently. And then immediately people start fucking throwing him what is projected right now to be, like $130,000 a year? Gosh, maybe he should have taken a business class and learned that if give people ways to give you money, they'll give you money. Is that like he doesn't even have like the forum excuse? Like, I literally can't take money from people most of the time. He has no excuse. He just refuses to help himself. But segueing back on topic, he does not run out of ideas to help other people. So let's read this other long as fuck post, which I've called catpiss.png. When he was animating and drawing shit on, this is talking about Shmorky. When he was animating and drawing shit on the forums like around 2002, I thought he was funny and creative. I would chat with him on AIM and ICQ. Oh god, this is fucking ancient. Or whatever the fuck we used to use back then, but it was a superficial friendship. We spoke of nothing of substance, just made fun of shit or whatever. After a while, I learned he didn't have a steady job, and since he had a sense of humor at the time and wasn't completely nuts, I offered to pay him to do FlashTub because I liked the stuff he made on the forums, and I felt bad that he was unemployed and living with a woman addicted to World of Warcraft who let many, many cats urinate into his clothing. Eventually, he told me he couldn't stand to live in Philadelphia anymore because of mean old cat pissing Warcraft broad. Shmorky's always the victim. So I felt bad once again, and since I considered him a friend, offered him a job doing the FlashTub in the office here in bumfuck Missouri. At least that way, he could afford his own place, and I guess be in control of choosing which cat pisses on his shirts. The day he arrived, I literally had to take all his clothes to the dry cleaners because the cat piss odor was making me physically ill. Anyways, things were good for a few years. I could joke around with him, and we had a similar sense of humor. I enjoyed watching bad movies and playing games and writing scripts for FlashTub with him because he could come up with some great stuff. The closest he got to my kids was when he was teaching them how to draw cartoons and helping them with art in the main entryway of the office, which I could see at all times. But then he slowly started falling apart mentally. I don't know if he was going through depression and reverting to the real Shmorky, but he just stopped joking around. Everything was serious. His voice began to rise in pitch. He became more and more involved with Tumblr. He wouldn't stop talking about gender. He would get mad and slam the door on me when I would claim gender does exist. Either you got a wiener or a pokey hole. To be fair, even though I agree with that sentiment, I think I would slam the fucking door in anybody's face who said that shit to me too. and he'd get flustered and storm out. He began wearing the yarn wig. He began stuffing himself with paper towels. He began to wear a girdle. He began to wear a cape. He began wearing makeup. Then that psycho bitch he was engaged with came into town, and things got even worse. I had to bail her out at 3 a.m. because she assaulted him after the cops pulled her over for suspected drunken driving. According to Shmorky, she just tapped me with 2 fingers, and that was all. But Shmorky has a unique ability to see the world through a completely different set of lenses than the rest of us. There were 5 cop cars there. They handcuffed her. She began screaming that they were anti-Semitic, and her family was all lawyers, and they were going to sue for $80 million. When the bail bondswoman came, she couldn't understand a word Shmorky said because of his fucked up squeaky-ass voice. So I had to act as a translator while she stifled a laugh the entire time. This was pretty much the beginning of the end. I let his girlfriend use one of the work computers, and as long as she shut the door, I wouldn't have to fucking listen to Pink Floyd. And later on, I looked through her browsing history and found a shitload of Google searches for John Bennett Ramsey conspiracy, snuff photos, and Jews involved with 9/11. She had saved a folder of crime scene corpses, which was a real treat to discover. She apparently was also and is addicted to kratom, which I have never heard of in my life. She would order packages of it overseas and get it shipped anonymously and unmarked to the office, which I did not know about until I opened the package and thought it was really shitty cooking spices. She would repeatedly ask me where to buy weed in this town, and I would say I don't know because I don't smoke weed. So I couldn't stand Shmorky or his GF anymore and let him, her, it, whatever go. A few days later, I found a printout she made, a letter to the local police department saying she has PTSD because of her arrest, and she has never been so traumatized before in her life except when 9/11 happened. For proof, she included a photo of her arms, which were covered in knife cuts in every direction, everywhere. To the best of my knowledge, she did not win that lawsuit. And that I included that entire post because I think it's amazing. I think it is comedic perfection. So, I have written on my notes here, my very important notes. Intro to Mandy, which I have titled in my scene list, "What do you want from me?" So I want you to see, this is Shmorky. We're seeing Shmorky right there on my desktop thing, right? Open this up. And this is a more recent picture of Shmorky. You can see that hair he's wearing is the yarn wig that Lotex mentioned. It is fake. It's like fake hair. He's going bald, and he's ashamed of it, so he wears the yarn hair. But this is Mandy. You might think, oh, geez, how did a balding gender blob hook up with a girl like her? Well, the answer is simple. She is fucking crazy. When I asked her to present to me evidence that she was the person she claimed to be when she registered on the forum, she sent me this fucking picture of her holding up a sign and looking absolutely fucking psychotic. And, I verified her, but she's crazy. So as we listen to this, let me line up these pictures right. There we go. As we listen to this, I want you to keep in mind that these are the people talking. The feminine sounding voice is Mandy. The not so feminine sounding voice, the fucking crazy voice, is Shmorky. This audio is 10 minutes long, and we're going to listen to it in its entirety. I'm probably not going to interrupt it as it plays. You need to hear it in its entirety, from start to finish, uninterrupted. And this is one of my favorite pieces of audio ever recorded, ever. Here you go.
Do you love me or not? Do you want to protect me or not? Because I already said I wasn't going to do anything.
Please don't touch me again, please.
I won't. I'll never touch you again, okay? I'll never touch you again. I'll just do what you want. What do you want me to do? I'll do whatever you want. What do you want from me?
Stop screaming and pretending.
I'm not pretending!
I'm... want from me?
I just want you to tell me what you want from me.
What do you want
What
from
do you
me?
want from me?
No. You're the one that's doing this right
I
now.
just want you to just tell me if you love me or not, or if you're in on this or not.
In on what? Tell me.
What they're doing to me.
Tell me what I have to say.
My parents.
Yes?
Are you controlling me for them?
No.
Well, there's nothing I can do anyway, so it doesn't matter. So even if you were, you won anyway. Even if you're not, you win, okay? Doesn't matter, because there's nothing I can do about any of these people. Okay? That's why I said I wasn't gonna do anything. That's why I said I was gonna go to the cops. I just said they won. I told them that they won.
Okay?
I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight back. I can't fight back. Okay? If Hitler himself came here, he wouldn't be able to save me, alright? Nothing. Jim Howe, they're unbeatable. They're unstoppable. There is no answer. There is no answer to the Jewish question because they always win. They always win, and they're mine, and I'm theirs. And there's nothing I can do about it ever. Nothing anyone can. Not Roger Waters. God himself can't stop these people. They won. They always win. And I'm not gonna fight anymore either. Because they won. They always do. There's no point in ever fighting anything. Because you can never win. So I'm not gonna fight anymore. So stop being scared of me. Because there's nothing I can ever do to win against anyone in my entire fucking life.
All I wanted you to do was stop harassing the Kayankas. That's all I wanted you to do.
I didn't. I won't. I
Well,
won't.
the damage is already done.
What do you want?
You realize that they can sue you, right?
And I know you're not gonna protect me, and I will let you do whatever you want to me. I told you.
What would
can't win.
What would I do to you?
What do you want to do to me?
I want you to get... Look, I don't want to put you in an institution, but I want you to get help, okay?
You can kill me because you won. There's nothing I can do to fight you or any of them. There's nothing I can do to ever fight anyone.
Well, you definitely shouldn't have, threatened their lives, okay?
I didn't threaten anyone's life.
Well, they said that they have that information, on WhatsApp and Twitter.
What?
That you,
WhatsApp?
Yes, that's the app that you were using.
Well, you know what? You
Yeah.
win. You know what? Here. It's yours. It's yours. Do it. Finish the job. It's yours. You can have it. Merry Christmas. It's yours. It's yours. Just take it.
No.
It
I'm not the one that-
belongs to you, just like I do. I belong to you. It belongs to you. The house belongs to you.
I do not own people.
Yes,
okay?
you do.
I do not. Okay?
Well, do you or don't you?
I do not own people. Okay? I do not want this kind of harassment in my house. Okay? Do you understand that I had to leave because I was scared of you? Do you know why I was scared?
How do you want to punish me? Just do it already. What do you want from me?
Well, I left the house because I was...
No, you want to punish me. What do you want to do? Physical? Do you want to rape me? What do you want? What do you want from me?
Why do you think I would do that? Why?
I don't know who you are. I don't know you.
I'm not the one that's a
I don't
rapist.
trust you.
I'm not the one that's a rapist. I'm not the one that's an
I don't
abuser.
know who you are.
And I'm not the one that's an abuser.
I'm not going to hurt you, okay? Just do what you want to me.
And I'm not the one that's pretending
I'm
like
not
I'm a
pretending!
thief.
That's the best part, by the way.
Just please stop it! What do you want? What do you want? Just stop being mad at me! Just stop it! Just what is it gonna take to make you stop being mad at me? What? What do you want from me, please? Just tell me what you want. Just tell me who you are. What, if you love me, if you don't, just tell me who you are and what you want, please. Because I don't know anymore. Because I can't trust anyone anymore. So please, just tell me who you are if you love me and what you want from me. I won't interrupt. Just go.
So you're screaming at the top of your lungs, you know, what do you want? What do you want? Do you want to rape me? Is that you're screaming at the top of your lungs, you know, probably hoping that the neighbors will hear it out of context.
No!
Yeah? Uh-huh. And now you're pulling your hair? And you kick this blade over to me, thinking that I'm gonna hurt you because I won't.
I just wanted to give it to you. I don't want any weapons. I don't want any way to fight back. I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. I just want
I'm
to
the
know
one.
what the truth is.
I'm the one that doesn't want to fight
anymore. I just want to know what the truth is. I don't want to fight anymore.
The truth is that you are now facing the consequences of harassing two people that did nothing to you. That's what's happening right now.
They did.
No, they didn't. I'm really sorry that I have to tell you this, but everything else, you know, whether it's true or not, this one thing isn't true.
Okay.
And even if
Well, what do you want me to pay for it? What do you want me to do to pay for it? What do you want?
No, it's not about what I want anymore.
What do they want? Just tell me what they want and I'll give it to them. What do they want?
I don't know, okay?
Do they want me? Do they want my body, my physicality, my money? What do they want? What do they want from me?
I'm pretty sure that they want you to get help because they don't know. Because they don't know how to handle you, and I don't know how to handle you anymore. This is brand new behavior. I've never seen you act like this before. Ever.
I'm afraid.
Uh-huh.
I'm afraid. I just don't want you to.
Well, you didn't act afraid when you were harassing them. You didn't act afraid. You thought that you know.
Now I am. Okay, They won. They broke me. I'm scared now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm scared.
Sure.
I'm afraid. What do you want me to do to prove that I'm not dangerous? That I'm not gonna fight anymore? What do you want? Because you're telling me that they want to hurt me. You're telling me you don't want to hurt me. Then you tell me that you do want to hurt me, and then they do, and then my parents do. What is it? Who wants to hurt me?
I never said I want to hurt you. When? Tell me when. Tell me when.
You're being angry.
I'm not angry. I'm scared and upset, and I'm standing very far away from you.
I am too.
You're the one that ran up to me and tried to touch me.
I don't want to hurt you.
You're the one that ran up to me and tried to touch me.
Because you said you were going to throw me out of my house.
No, I said that they wanted me to throw you out. Okay? But now I don't know what to do.
Well, what do we do? You're the...
You're the man. Oh, wait, no, you're not. You're the gender blob of this house. I lied. That was the best part. Oh, jeez. Okay, let's get into that. Because I was originally, when I was planning this, I'm thinking, geez, I should pause here and say this. I should bring this up when she says this. Decided instead to let you soak that shit in as it is, because I think it's better that way. In fact, I deliberately feng shuied my layout, my organization for this, because I have shit I wanted to show that included his voice, but I knew it would be detrimental to your experience as an audience member if I let you hear this motherfucker before that recording. So now, let's take a step back and think about what the fuck just happened. Because if it's not immediately obvious, they're both extremely fucking mentally unwell people. They are very dangerous to themselves and others. She has paranoid schizophrenia, as if that's not fucking obvious. I mean, everything she said in that, except for the part about the Jews, that was insane. And he is obviously, like, even when you don't know too much about him, it's very obvious listening to him and his interactions with her that he's manipulating her. It's not the other way around. So the question then arises, how the fuck did this... Fuck you, chat. The question then arises, how the fuck did this come into being? How did this unholy union come into being? So, the answer is he denied her antipsychotics. That's what happened. That's why she's having a fucking psychotic breakdown, because he hid her medication from her. And you'll notice halfway through, she's having her episode, she's screaming and stuff. And then when she notices that he's recording her, she backs off a little bit and goes quiet and isn't confrontational anymore. And that prompts him to start talking more and start engaging her and prompting her to talk more because he wants it on recording. Now, would you think that A, this was police evidence entered into the public domain, B, this is something that she posted against him, or C, this is something that Shmorky posted on Something Awful to get sympathy for himself? The answer is he posted it himself, and he posted it on Something Awful, and he tried to get attention for himself, and it fucking backfired hard. In fact, I'm pretty sure that when we go back to this, and we look at the flash tab, when we look at where it ends, you'll notice that it ends at this date. And I'm pretty sure that that is the date after this recording came out. Because after that, Lotax stopped employing him to make these flash tab animations. So this recording was sort of the catalyst of the downfall of Shmorky. So let's I wanted to play this before, but as I said, I intentionally changed the order of things to make that impact as good as it should be. This is something that Lotax himself posted on the Gaming Garbage channel on YouTube to explain why Shmorky was no longer the co-host.
No, yeah, use mom. Use mom to show you the way.
Yeah, I'm dual-wielding mom and a gun.
Yeah, but mom's not on. You gotta turn mom on.
Oh, how do I
turn mom on in the park?
How do I turn mom on in the park?
Click a button, right mouse button. There you go.
Oh, there we go.
Shmorky just turned mom on in the park. That's a little puzzle.
Yeah.
It's just Shmorky Plays.
All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is just Shmorky again today. And today we play Clumsy Rex for PC Game Engine 2014. The story is that you need to grab some flowers because your anniversary gift is going to be late.
His answer for why he was no longer on it was entirely based on that fucking video. The voice changed, but it was more due to the stuff with Mandy. Now, Lotax didn't like Mandy, and that's because Mandy is fucking crazy. I don't think I need to go over that. But what's really interesting is that dynamic. At several points, she asked him to rape her, which makes me think of that Nirvana song, Rape Me. But it's really clear that she is sexually frustrated. And I'm not saying that to be like a Roosh V, like male MRA type person. She is obviously clearly sexually frustrated like a cat in fucking heat, and she just wants to get diddled. And I base that not only on the fact that she asked multiple times for somebody to rape her. When Shmorky hints that he's going to have to do something to her as a result of this, and her immediate reaction is like, "What do you want to do to me?" Like fucking turned on, like, "Ooh, am I going to be punished for being bad?" Is that the situation? But no, they're, despite being engaged after several weeks and shit, right? Like literally within I think 6 months they got engaged to each other, and she was a fan of the Flash Tub stuff. They never had sex. I'm pretty sure they never had sex. She said that he made her masturbate him through a towel. Now her testimony, her account of stuff should always be distrusted, at least a little bit, because she's a crazy person. But her stories regarding how Shmorky would refuse to even like sleep with her, and like actually sleep with her, not as a euphemism, but he would not let her sleep in bed with her because of two reasons. Number one, he would take off the yarn wig at night, and she said that he was so repulsed by the idea of her seeing him without the yarn wig that he would slam the door on her face if she tried to intrude on him without the yarn wig on. And 2, she said that he would scream in the middle of the night about like childhood abuse and shit, and he didn't like that, so he wouldn't let her sleep with him, even at night. So she's been pretty consistent about this, and I have some other anecdotal stories that she's told over on what's this called? Something Sensitive, which is a critical forum of Something Awful that she's been a member on. So I'll just read this regarding that. Shmorky's dad, who was his stepdad that has been with him since birth, was disabled. And I don't know what he did prior to becoming disabled. And his mom worked with Waffle House. Shmorky was the result of a fucking dump. His mother was not good at making choices. And he was out of the picture long before Shmorky knew him. He always just called his stepdad Dad because his real dad was never in his life. Shmorky's mom actually attempted suicide in front of him and his brothers by jumping out of a moving car once. Jesus Christ. Like I said earlier, his father and brothers beat the shit out of him. He didn't have a nice life growing up. It doesn't excuse how nasty and manipulative he became in life, but it's easy to see how he got that way. And then here, to be fair, though, I don't think Fire is half as narcissistic and mean-spirited as Shmorky. Shmorky spent every minute of every day looking for an excuse to be manipulative and mean. One minute, he'd be screaming at me that I don't treat him feminine enough, and then the next, he'd be screaming, "Don't treat me like I'm some kind of pussy." He said those exact words to me once. I was confused as fuck, and then just realized at the end of the day, Shmorky was a very, very insecure man. We literally had to sleep in different rooms because he couldn't bear to see me have him bald with his yarn wig off. I never understood why he, at the very least, couldn't just get a realistic looking wig. Also, his entire wardrobe consisted of shirts with his own characters on them. He refused to wear anything else. Shameless self-promotion all day, every day. Though I would disagree with her on that. I would say that probably he only feels comfortable with his characters because he uses those Clurf things as his avatar everywhere he goes. One of the worst things about him, or about the relationship, was that you could not have a two-way conversation with him. You could go to say something and he would always interrupt. It was the most obnoxious thing ever. He would prattle on endlessly about how great he was and how hard he had growing up in a trailer, and he couldn't stand how privileged everyone else was around him and what the fuck you had to say. Of course, he would never shut up about gender politics and how he was living to see a revolution happen where women took over the world by force. Respect women. Lotax was always getting frustrated with him. He would sleep till noon or 1 or 2 p.m. every day and show up to work whenever he damn well pleased. Lotax would ask him to do shit and he straight up would yell / squeak, "This is a waste of my time and my talent." He just had the worst fucking attitude. So of course the day inevitably came where he came home and told me that he got fired and he'd be needing me to pay his share of rent and bills. Did not ask me, told me. And I just did it because what other option did I have? Once I told him to get a job and it went over like a fart in church. How dare you bark at me to get a job like I'm some pleb. I'm an artist and I can't work because no one will respect my pronouns. And that's how I wound up financially supporting him. And one other post that I want to read. This is a Clurf, by the way. I don't know how I made it this far without showing people what a Clurf is. I showed some animation stuff in the beginning, but this is a Clurf. It kind of looks like a Smurf, but kind of retarded, like a furry Smurf or something. I don't know. So I don't know. She came around the time me and Shmork were moving to, or already moved to Washington, and he wasn't exactly friends with the tax man. Shmork would come home and bitch every day about how Lotax was nothing but an internet bully who bullied him all the time, and how working at Something Awful was a waste of his talent. Everything was a waste of his talent. He turned down job offers from Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network several times because he couldn't handle them making changes and edits to his work. Which they would have to because all his cartoons centered around his Tumblr values. He showed me a storyboard for the pilot episode of a show he wanted to make called Wizzy. Wizzy is a little wizard black girl who goes on adventures or something. And of course, the first episode is about how Wizzy and her friends have a girls only slumber party and a boy wants to join. So Wizzy casts a spell on the boy to turn him into a girl. And yes, by all means, call that fucker Dave. He cries over it. He literally cries over it. His parents still call him Dave, and he legit flinches when they do it. I got so pissed at him, I called him Dave once, and he broke down in tears yelling, "How dare you call me by that name?" He cried a lot, sometimes in the middle of the day for no reason. He would just break down crying that he hated his body and wanted to kill himself over it. He even drew himself crying, such a tortured soul. So, that is... They almost hired him to work at Steven Universe, but then the pedo leaks happened. Well, we'll get to that. So, I think I covered everything with Mandy. What's this? I'll take a peek. Okay, that's the leaks. How do I even approach this? How do I even get to it? All right, so let's just start by saying that Shmorky has survived pedo allegations for some time, specifically diaper furry shit. And I'll show you this. This is 2 drawings he made a long time ago that are clearly in his style, but he claimed when these got found out many years ago that they were commissions for money. And he said he just did it because they paid him. Now, this is obviously defeated by the fact that when you compare it to old pictures of him at the time, they look exactly like him. So there's a problem there when you're trying to say that you drew this for money, because either you didn't draw it for money and you just drew yourself as a little bunny shitting himself, or somebody paid you to draw yourself as a bunny shitting himself, and you did it anyways because you're a desperate sellout. This is other stuff that he's drawn. This is much, much more obviously in that Clurf style. He has a fascination with like toddler age kids, especially toddler age kids in diapers and stuff. And the main issue with I can't show you a lot of the stuff that he's drawn that are clearly in his style, that are clearly like pedophilic because they're pornographic. It's like kids shitting, basically. It's and like Clurf kids just shitting and pissing, and he just drew that, and it's obviously in his style. It's obviously by him. But these things didn't really come out until this shit. So this is, on the left is Sandy Pants. On the right is Peaches. Peaches came first. Peaches was a persona that came about in like 2013 and was a furry who drew typical furry shit like that. And then Sandy Pants came out later and had a very similar style and very similar voice actress. But it was kind of like an open secret with the furries that they were the same people, even though they denied it vehemently for no apparent reason. Now, I want you to think about the fact that these people are thought to be, because of the art style, thought to be Shmorky as you listen to this.
This just in, my butt. In related news, there were some farts. And now, the weather. As you can see, there are some strong gusts coming from the south. Now for the traffic. There's a huge clusterfuck of shit fucking up ass and balls over here. And holy Christ, is it ever shitty down there. Just one shitty ball of fuck wrapped in a bitch. Back to you. Check back at 11 for further developments. For now, courage.
The obvious takeaway with that is it's a very profane, toilet humor-centered furry who has unusually good artistic capabilities and animation abilities despite their age. I think at the time they're like mid-teens. And when this accusation came out, right, that they were the same people, when it started floating around, people asked about the voice. Obviously, Shmorky has a very afeminine strange falsetto voice that is extremely recognizable. And obviously, there is some changes to his voice in that, or to the voice in that clip, but it can't be him. It just can't. What we think is that he paid a voice actress to say these things. And we know that because this got posted. So this is Dave Kelly from 2007. So this is even way earlier than I thought it was. Sorry. 2013 was the latter animations. This was one of the first. 2013 is when this kind of peaked. So, can you record a couple things for me? I'm pretending to be a girl. Can you say, hello, my name is Peaches the Puppy. I'm a 12-year-old. How about, I like going potty. I like to poop my pants or pee-pee time. Maybe arf arf, I'm a little puppy. Anything silly you can come up with, go ahead and email me the files. Thanks. Now, there is, and I'm not even going to cover this. I'm not going to go point by point and fucking debunk this shit. If you want to find it, it is very easily searchable. It's called Shmorky Debunked on Tumblr. It is ridiculously, stupidly fucking long, point by point, white fucking knighting of Shmorky, and saying that there is absolutely no way that it can be Sandy Pants or Peaches. I would be here for 2 fucking hours if I were talking about this shit, like just talking about this. And no, I'm not gonna cover this. Somebody wanted me to at least mention that this was a thing, and I've done my due diligence. This is a thing if you want to look it up. But I fall back on my counter, my counter to this, being that Low Tax has said. Just wanted to say with 100% certainty that Shmorky is Sandy Pants. Now, he didn't really elaborate on this. He didn't really, like, obviously, what you see is what you get. But there is something that he's fucking seen that says, beyond a shadow of a doubt to Low Tags, that the person who animated the Sandy Pants animations is Shmorky. So I don't know. I don't know what exactly he's seen, but I'm pretty sure that he's not lying, because he has no reason to. The main issue with him lying about Sandy Pants being Shmorky, is that it raises a lot of questions about Low Tax. So, for instance, he says, I talked to her, referring to his daughter, in real life today and yesterday, had to explain sexual fetishes of a fucked up adult to her, had to explain pedophilia to her, had to explain sociopaths to her. Not a great couple of days, not how I wanted to spend them, but she's pissed at Shmorky and wants to vent just as much as I. And this retard asked, did you have to, though? I mean, Shmorky hasn't been around for a long time. You could have just let it go. And he says, I had to. The dude's into kitty fucking. Wanted to make absolutely sure nothing happened when I was in another room or wasn't looking. Had to make sure he didn't touch them or do any shit like he lusts for in his sexually deviant RP sessions with poo-poo pee-pee baby diaper furs. I never left the kids alone with Shmorky, but better safe than sorry. I didn't want them coming up with repressed memories a decade later about how Yarnwig McFurry fuck checked their undies for poo-poo. So he ate a lot of shit. Oh, I shouldn't say that. Not for what's coming up. He caught a lot of criticism for letting Shmorky near his kids at all, and it does not benefit him at all for this to be something that people are concerned with. So, as I hinted, let's read some of these conversation logs. This is by Carefully, who I believe claims to be a 16-year-old fan of Flash Tub, who, by the time she was 18 plus of age, he began to RP with her. And let me blow this up so you guys can actually see it. Perfect. So, let me get a sip of water. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Daisy pounce. He crosses his arms. He makes up his mind he's not going to tell his sissy. But just as he comes towards the hallway, he sees M there with a big grin. She heard everything. Now you're going to get to play with him like one of your dolls, except it'll be real. Out of character quotes, blush, fun. Out of character quotes, smiley face. I grab you by the crook of your arm and pull you into the bathroom. I duck under the sink and pull out diapers and baby powder and ceremoniously spread them on the floor. Then I start to undo your pants, making a big deal about what a little baby you'd have to be to not be able to wait 5 seconds for the potty. Remember, Daisy K is Shmorky. That's his drag name. Daisy whimpers, standing there. As you get out all the baby supplies and undo his pants, you get a good look at the large mess he left in his undies. It's an impressive size. He's a lot like your baby brother, despite being bigger and older. His big dick gets hard as the cold air touches it. I'm sorry I called you a baby. Please don't make me wear a diaper, he whimpers, begging. Here's a cap of his obsession with large shit, incest implication bonus. This is very casual stuff where they're just saying hi to each other. And she says, this is how every RP started, with me interested in his art and him interested in shitting his pants. Oh, fuck that. Let me scan this. I don't want to read all this shit. No, yeah, I'm not going to read that. Sorry, you can see it on the screen if you're genuinely curious. I'm not fucking reading that. A little sucks on her fingers, rocks you back and forth, and hums. You're just wonderful. Props your head over your shoulder and gently chews on it. Good baby, snuggles you. Mumble softly, I'm not a baby, I'm almost 15. She sucks in her fingers some more. Daisy lets out a little eep as she's completely naked now. She's still all smooth and hairless, save for some light fuzz. She's a bit of a late bloomer in more ways than one. She steps out of the panties as you take them off her legs. Yeah, I'm not reading that shit. Where is... I better fucking have this. I can't believe that. Do I have it in a cap? There's one thing I wanted to read, and this is none of it, and I just feel weird reading it. Where the fuck is it? Oh, here we go. Yes, this is it. This is what I actually wanted to read. That's just creepy shit that I don't feel comfortable saying. Okay. I'm the friend. This is her introduction, this carefully person, who is the crux of all this internet arguing. I'm the friend who was with Shmorky at 16. We were just friends, and it didn't get weird until I was of age. However, he RP 3 ways with imaginary 7-year-old named Darla, which kind of looks like his Clerf OC but wearing a dress and flower. He tried to make me RP changing his diaper and eating his poop. He cheated on his fiance. Oh, so he was with Mandy at the time. He cheated on his fiance with me, and I noticed he did a similar piece of art for both of us, where me and her were drawn as adults disciplining the child Shmorky. I had thousands of degenerate RP chat logs, but they're gone. I wanted his approval so bad that I never told him to stop. His favorite RP was bath time, where one of us was a child and one of us was an adult bathing the child. He would have the adult molest the child. After the adult changed the diaper and ate the baby's poop, of course. If he wanted to be a child, it was largely so that he could look at children sexually guilt-free, as well as a general man-childness taken to an autistic extreme. I ditched Shmorky after I realized he had a fiance and was using me to secretly fulfill his pedo fantasies. He didn't care at all when I attempted suicide after my family found out I was dating a 13-year-old pedophile. I'm trying to think. Did I have like a happy ending lined up? Oh, how the fuck did I completely miss this? I'm retarded. Here, I know what'll make you guys happy. Let's talk about him getting raped. This was something I was going to show to introduce him, but I guess I never fucking did because I'm retarded. So we'll just cap this off by saying, don't worry, there is justice in the world. He was raped. Oh, sorry, 34, not 13. Fuck off. The year 2000, I had recently graduated high school and was able to prove myself to be tech savvy for potential employers. I was smart and talented at the internet and offered many opportunities. Nothing could go wrong. Then came the .com crash. I ended up living at a relative's house for a while. I was struggling to get back in the game. Doing my own cartooning was barely paying the bills. I needed real work. Easy, I know the fucking story is not true. If you let me fucking finish it, I'll explain that. I'll let you on for 15 minutes. I'm tired of you. Like, you've been in here begging the entire fucking time, and I'm getting annoyed by it. My uncle hated me and thought I was a big burden. And think about what you're going to say, because I'm not going to let you on for 40 fucking minutes to advertise your streams. I felt like a big burden and was mostly verbally abusive, but I didn't feel safe there. I got on IRC and started asking around for people that could take me in. There was someone close by in the same state. I thought I found my savior. I was able to offer my car as compensation until I had a regular job. I was free. When I got there, my new roommate gave me a hug. He said he admired me, thought I was really awesome. No way you're awesome. You really helped me out here. Is there any way I can repay you? Well, and then there is implied, I think it was blowjobs. I think he paid his rent in blowjobs for a while. I really like that grizzled, like if you look at this, I really like that double chin. That's a flattering double chin. The first time he made me do it, it just felt weird. I rationalized that this was something I had to do, but then it kept happening. I still wasn't pulling in enough rent money. Even with doing some commission work that made me uncomfortable, I did what I had to do to survive. And then he was there to remind me that I needed to pay somehow. And then when I tried to say no, he didn't need to hurt me. His presence was scary enough. I wasn't that small, but he was like a giant compared to me. He manipulated me, made me feel worthless. He kept reminding me of all he did for me. And then there's this forced blowjob panels, which are very, very tasteful. I went back into IRC and tried to tell people about what happened. They called me a liar and said I was seeking attention. I stopped using the chat and refused to associate with those people again. He was so careful. He didn't leave marks on me. No one would believe me anyways. I was trapped, living with my rapist. I went back into IRC and tried to tell some people about what... No, I already said that. One night, I silently packed my things and got out of there. I got into my car and drove back to my relative's house, tail between my leg. I had to endure the fact that I failed to make it in the real world. I became more depressed than ever, which only made me look more worthless. So my impatient uncle beat me up and threw me to the ground. I went looking for someone else to live with. I decided to live one state over. Just completely removed myself from the area. My new roommate was kind of a slob, but he was way nicer. I never told him what happened. I never told anyone. Hey, that panel on the top right looks like the crying, sad one that he drew for Mandy that I showed you earlier. I took every commission I can get, no matter how uncomfortable it made me. I just had to pull myself out of this hole. As the years went on, I thought I could put it all behind me. But there are people who still like to remind me of the time I was poor and desperate and a failure. I never let it look like it bothered me. I was an internet tough guy. All this stuff was supposed to roll off my back, but it didn't. It always follows me. It never goes away. This kind of stuff stays inside you forever. I've told my close friends and girlfriends, but that's it. I feel like it would only make things worse if I let the world know. That's the way so many of us feel. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to be. Like, it's so awkward. It's like a dumpy profile shot of him. All right, 1 second. 1 second. Now that that's out of the way. Live audio, Firefox on. Okay. It's not connecting. I hate Discord. Do you know how much I hate fucking Discord? I have to change the server region or something. There we go. All right, what do you want?
Actually, I don't want anything. I just wanted you to tell the rape story. You didn't tell it at the start, and I thought you're going to miss it. The only small detail I wanted to add to that, because you've already told everything, is this is the reason why he quit being a furry. The furries told him, listen, you weren't raped. You just You know, you paid rent with sex. He didn't rape you, and then he decided he's not a furry anymore.
Yeah.
That's basically all I want to.
That's the deep lore, right? Is that the IRC that he was a part? Like he's obviously a furry or was because he drew himself as a bunny. His Smurf things are furry looking. And,
Exactly.
And it just seems like it abruptly stopped around the time that this alleged conversation
He
and rape
got
happened.
so mad that the furries told him that he's just a male prostitute, that nobody fucking raped him, that his story he told himself about why he was sucking this guy's dick is not true, that he decided he's not going to be a furry anymore forever. And you know, he's commendable because he actually stuck to it, sort of. But that's basically the story here.
Okay.
Mad because he's a man whore.
Is there anything else you can think of?
Yeah, his webcomics are god awful. You can still find some of his really old shit, and he is unbelievably bad. Like, I have no idea who commissioned him back in 2002 because he could barely fucking draw. That shit was fucking abysmal. This absolute crap. That's all I really have to say. You already told the story I thought you're gonna miss.
All right. I'm glad I caught it the last second. I only realized because I had all the icons on my desktop. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't read that. I didn't read that embarrassing story about sucking dick for rent.
You know what? I'm gonna plug something. My man Turk February. Goddamn, I can't pronounce that word. Turk February.
I'm gonna put the link to that in the description because I watched through his stream before I put together my timeline.
It wasn't a stream, but yeah, he goes through the Sandy Pants conspiracy. It's really nice stuff. All right, that's about it. Peace.
Take it easy. All right, and the person he was mentioning, Turk February, he did like an hour of going through everything point by point, and he did okay. He had information in there that I wasn't aware of, so I filled in the gaps using some of the stuff from his stuff. Let's see. I think that's it. There's probably a lot more I could get into with Mandy because Mandy's fucking crazy, and there's so many like scattered stories all over Something Sensitive and her stories on the Kiwi farms and stuff. But in general, it's the story of a guy who got the shit kicked out of him when he was young, and really, really wants to be a child in a diaper, shitting himself and eating poop. And I don't know. On one hand, I feel kind of bad for him. But on the other hand, I think the world would be better off without him there. You know what I mean? What is it? What is it called? Is there like a weird German word like Schadenfreude for when you feel sorry for someone, but at the same time think that they should just go away? Is there a word for that? Where like you pity someone, but you think that they'd just be better off gone or never having been born. You know. I'm not going to read those words. There's a 100% chance those words that you're saying are fucking are anti-Semitic and they're going to get me banned. About his trannyism? His trannyism, from what I gathered with that stuff, is that he always kind of felt out of place. Like my thing is when I hear about trannies, when I hear about transgender people and stuff, it always seems like the common thread with the male to female transsexuals is that they don't feel comfortable as a man. They're not masculine. They don't feel confident in themselves. They don't feel like they can take care of a woman and stuff. And they just think, oh, it would be so much better if I was a woman. Or I think I'd feel a lot more comfortable being like the subordinate in a relationship. And then they try to take on that role. That's always what it seems like. Because it never seems like you very rarely have a male to female transsexual who is someone who maintains like male personality traits in a relationship, you know? It always seems to be like a wish fulfillment thing for being a different cast. Become the GF. Exactly. The GameStop training was pretty manly. It's ma'am. All right. Fuck it. I gotta go lay down at some point, and I have to. I'm lying. I don't have anything to do. I have no responsibilities, but I'm getting cotton mouth. So I think that's the appropriate time I have a great song picked out. It was very hard to find a closing song to this stream. But I did find one. I found the best one I could think of for this. So I'll play that, and then I'll be in the Discord and stuff and talking, I guess. And I'll see you next Wednesday. Let's see, where's my beg banner? There it is. Get that up to 11,500, please, so I can continue to subsist. All right. Where is it? There it is. Take it easy, my friends.
My neighbors ask me why I'm limping down the way, and who that fellow was who came by yesterday. I quickly turn my face before I start to blush, 'cause frankly there is nothing I can say. Down, down, down. I've always had a thing for pushing the extreme, and I just got a thing you won't find in the magazines. This molded silicone has got me begging, please give me more of what I really need, 'cause there is no cock like horse cock. Send your asshole into shock. You need horse cock, of course cock. Grab the lube and slam the day away. My shaft is quivering and my balls are turning blue as I think of drinking in a foot or even two of my favorite stallion that I keep in my top drawer. Slip it in and I'll be dripping goo as I take more cock, horse cock. Shut the door and turn the lock. Is your cock a horse cock? You will never hear me saying nay, 'cause there is no cock like horse cock. Rub my dick inside a sock. Don't stop now, horse cock. Stretch out my insides and make me bray, my lovely horse cock. Horse cock. Shoot the doop dup 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 down on a horse cock, my horse cock. Yeah, da 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 da. Da 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 da. Yeah, da 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 da.